Hello, YouTubers. I trust everyone is in their homes safe and sound on this Tuesday evening. The time is 6:44 p.m. The date is January 26, 2021. I'm discussing the fact of the situation of evictions, which has been increasing exponentially, especially where black people are concerned. I reside in New York City, so I'm not certain how evictions are impacting black people in other states. I expect it probably is just as much in New York, or possibly even worse. But the fact is that the CDC has put out a moratorium on evictions. You can go to their site and download the forms that you need to fill out so that if you're being harassed by your landlord or they're making a move to evict you, you can stave it off. There's certain guidelines that and criteria you have to meet in order to be eligible to download the forms or submit the forms. But in any case, the problem that I have in terms of these evictions is that I believe it's a huge land grab, because it's in certain areas throughout these cities and areas where you have a large population of black people living. And I don't believe it's any accident. And I also believe that the pandemic has become an excuse for a lot of people to do and practice unsavory behaviors against people, because these people that are doing the unsavory behaviors, they realize that most people are strapped economically and they're taking advantage of that. Somebody's benefiting from these people being evicted out of their apartment or houses. Somebody's benefiting. Okay, because if they can afford to spend money as landlords or these banks to take people to housing courts, how is it that they can't adhere to the moratorium on evictions? So something is amiss. Now, I'm no private detective. I could be if I wanted to go around sniffing. But I think it behooves people to better start doing their homework of how, they can have security with their roof and not become victims of unscrupulous, greedy landlords. Okay, because it is very hard to live on the streets in this country. I have done it. And I did it with my family, meaning my children, when they were very young. We were homeless for about a good 10 years. And I recall moving into rooms during the winter times. I would always move us during the summer to set up a place for us to sleep during the fall and the winter. And it was very hard. Back then you could rent a room between $50 a week or between $50 and $80 a week. I was working, but it was very, very difficult. And it's hard on the children. My youngest son developed headaches. He would regurgitate all the time. He had nightmares. It was really tough. It was really, really tough. There aren't enough words to describe how tough it is. As an adult, it was tough on me, but for children, it's God, it's 20 times worse. You know, and with being homeless, you also develop food insecurity, money insecurity. I mean, you name it. Health insecurity. You know, later on, when I hit my 50s, I would come down with hypertension and diabetes. And it's not that I was so fat or I ate so many sweets or salts. It was those years when I had to subsist, when we had to subsist on a lot of the canned goods from the pantries. And it was just really bad. And those situations would come back to haunt me later with my health. And because when you're going to a pantry, they're giving you canned goods, and it's laced in salt, and you can rinse off the salt as much as you can with the water and strain it off and all this business. It still doesn't help. Those canned goods could have been on that shelf for 10 years. So it's saturated in nothing but salt. So one's nutrition is very, very poor. So all I have to say in this video is that people, do your homework, and don't sit there and think that some politician is going to pass laws that's going to help you, because this is a law with the moratorium in many of these cities, and landlords are still able to evict people from their homes. So obviously the so-called laws are not helping. And don't think because you have a new president that things are going to just miraculously get better. There's supposedly now a new strain of the coronavirus. So I read where they're also advising people to wear two masks. Well, personally, I've been wearing 2 masks from the beginning. Because even if you wear 1 mask, I mean, you can still smell the stench of these cities with the filth. So I mean, really. So I don't know how people can think that 1 mask was going to be effective. You actually have to wear 2 masks, 2 to 3 masks. And it's that simple. And this coronavirus is not going to end anytime soon. I just don't believe that. And it's not about me being positive or negative. I just know what I see. Okay? My observance in certain situations in the streets. I live in New York City. I see the poverty. And it's not nice. All you see are people begging for money or food. If you're on the trains or the buses, same thing. Every day, up and down. It's heartbreaking that you live in a country where people have nothing. And there are people that's struggling to come here because they think life is going to be so much better. I wanted some jasmine rice, for instance, and I went to this little eatery. The rice, it's a small thing of rice for $1.50. The guy charged me 15 cents tax for the stupid little thing of rice. I said, keep your rice. I don't need it. Places that they never used to charge you taxes, now they're charging you taxes for rice. 2 pieces of chicken wings, things like that. It's ridiculous. Now they're charging you also for bags. Isn't there a law that you're not supposed to have bags in the supermarket? But they have bags, and they've turned it into a business where they're charging people for bags. So this is the madness that's going on. So, people wake up. There is no American dream anymore. It's dead. And even if there was, the American dream was having money. And if you don't have any money, that's it. End of story. So read your your newspapers, your YouTubes, whatever it is that you need to do to find out your rights and exercise them. Because, create co-ops, food co-ops with your neighbors. Get to know your neighbors and share what you all have. Especially as black people, we can no longer afford to be me, myself, and I attitude. It's just not working for us. Because this pandemic, the longer it goes on, every day, every hour, every minute, every moment, our shit is tenuous. So, in any case, I don't want to keep rambling on. I wish everybody the best. Watch your back. Be careful out there. It's also very dangerous. Good night. Like and subscribe.